Hey guys, welcome to the first video on my channel. This channel is going to be briefly talk about Universus, all things Universus, probably some Pokemon card games, and we're going to kind of go into this. First thing I'm going to talk about on this channel is going to this Dallas regional, what decks are going to do good, which decks are going to do bad, which decks kind of just suck in this format. So, this video is recorded actually directly after the Reiner errata, so we can start with talking about Reiner Born. Here, best deck originally, now probably one of those decks that's probably local source, because you can still play the backups, so it's still like not horrible, but the consistency is shot down because tokens being gone. As someone who's personally going to play Rhino a couple of days ago, it's a big fix, so now I've got to start to work on it. Next, we have the Anguirus. So, Anguirus is one of those decks, for me, it's not the best deck, because I kind of don't really like it. I feel like it's kind of one-dimensional, but people have started to experiment with it. They're building their own things. So, it's probably one of those things that probably tops the regional here and there. Probably one of those better decks. Deku's next. So, Deku's one of those characters that I think when Rhino was around, like the mill Dekus and things were kind of in this category, probably where you couldn't really play it because you died to a lot of the decks in the format. Same with Tot. So it's been a rough year so far. But I think it's starting to get stronger. Like, I think I can see Deku here. It probably could top, but I don't think it's going to be one of those decks that I would expect to top at this regional. So I'd probably put it in the Rogue deck tier. Whereas if people put time and effort into it, it could definitely go up here. But I think currently it's sitting around this tier. Next up, Godzilla. And I don't know. Godzilla's always been good. I am really sure where to put it. Like, my thing would probably be probably not gonna top. Someone may or may not go crazy on it. I'd have to check for sure, but let's put it. I think it's a rogue tier for now. King of Draw 3. Once again, this is one of those decks that's kind of used to be good, but kind of has been dying out. Someone could top with it, but I'd probably say it's local source, probably worse than Minor. I'd probably also think Godzilla is local source. Like, I don't think Godzilla's running a regional anytime too soon. So it is interesting to me. Next up, Jester. Ooh. So obviously with Jester running the new packages of this tension and these echo attacks, it's able to do a lot better. So I would probably say this is one of those rogue decks, because we did see it do, I think, top 16 at the last regional. So I wouldn't be shocked to see it go a little bit further in this regional and like make it to a next level, you know, kind of get higher up in it. Bridget. Bridget is one of those decks where once again it's probably like a local source, probably better than the issue because aggro is just always potentially able to do good. Clearing your card pool is always nice, but I think like it's just not keeping up with this stuff anymore. And he had it a really good one. I think it's still placed, just not as good. Like the hype's kind of died out. I think it's still a rogue deck. It's probably worse than Jester, just because Jester has some pretty neat new stuff. Ryu has some cool abilities, probably in like this tier, maybe this tier. I'm gonna put it in here because I think everyone knows what it does now. Whereas like, and it's starting to kind of lose the consistency it used to have. That's good. Allure, this is actually when I'm personally gonna put in the rogue tier. Like, I think while most builds are probably in the local source, people are starting to experiment and kind of finding ways to abuse the character. Once again, even after the infinite combos, so like there's some cool source there that might put it in there. Like this is decks that I think could top a regional if someone builds the crazy like a good version. Not expected to top though. Armored All Might here. From what I've seen, like I think it's probably better than the Laura. Maybe better than Annie. Like I need to see it played, but I think it's got potential. Like a lot of people I know have been playing it. That's just like a control deck. Just like not that great. I don't know. I think it's probably better than the new Reiner. Probably not better than Ryu. Battle 2 post errata like stinks. Well, it doesn't stink, it's still like one of those decks that go crazy. Yeah, I guess I put it on the back of this tier, I don't know. Potemkin, it's a cool deck, very cool deck. Just not one I can see myself like playing and enjoying. Local deck for sure, probably near the higher end. I don't even know where mine is gonna be. This Reiner replacement is probably arbitrary, so we'll just leave it for now. It's very hard because no one's played him yet. Like the backup version is okay. It's probably just not good enough though into this format. Um, Jacob Johnson. So this one's that I've had a bit of experience looking at, but never kind of found it to click. I remember some people piling it quite far, so I think it's one of those decks that probably is always gonna maybe do something here and there. I'm pretty sure you can play the infinite block strat with using drive parry to keep and wedding thing foundation to keep picking up blocks. It's gonna be quite good. Armin, I think once again this is probably like a cool locals deck. Like I don't think it's great. It's just I don't know. It just feels to me like it's very mid, but like it can do stuff. This Deku, in my opinion, stinks. There's not enough foundations that are worth playing to make it ever worth playing. Um, I think I'd rather play Bertold just for the chance of high high rolling people. Um, this deck is probably actually quite better. This deck's pretty good. I mean, the more I look at it, the better it is. You just don't transform anymore. Yeah, I don't think it's a rogue deck quite. Like, I don't think people are gonna do well reasonably, but it's cool. Yeah, Benimaru. I don't think it's like a rogue deck anymore. I've seen someone I know has been playing it a lot, and I like think it stinks. So personally, I'm gonna shy away from that one. Kevin Broberg, yeah, like the card's super cool. I love it, but it's not great. Caduceus Clay, it's pretty cool, but the backups aren't. The format like isn't really got too many backups worth playing. It's probably like better than those decks. But it's a bit hard like ranking them individually. Like I'm trying to categorize them. Rodan's something I expect a reasonable top. Now that we see no Reiners, if people were playing this Rodan list, like especially the Void one that was surfing before, or the Air version, we could see some really good things. This is probably the deck I'm expecting to do one of the best. Currently in this one, I guess I can put it in here because it's probably like 3 decks up there. But yeah, this please feel like one of the best decks into this format. Biolante, this one is a very big rogue deck for me. Like this deck's always been okay, and I think it's starting to like push into the realms of pretty good. Like it's got some buffs, especially in tech, and even in tech, and this just goes up and up and up and stuff. So like I don't know, maybe it's not this high, but it feels weird to me of where to put stuff to be sure. I think yeah, somewhere around this tier is definitely where you want it. Kai Kisuke, it's probably not a rogue deck. Like I don't think it's a winning event because of the fact that there's just kind of better versions that do what it do. But it's cool. It's very cool. I think like I'm a big fan of playing it because you can just like if they overcommit, you're just gonna freeze their board, so that can help you a lot. Just overall, I think it's a decent deck. Sunjin Woo, I think it's still like in this category. Like I think it can win an LC. I think this is decks that are consistently winning, like can win at least 2 LCs a season. Hopefully, these kind of ones that win the one odd one or the two of them. Like this one round one or someone I know. Donatello. So this is like going into the assets. Like I think the assets are kind of pretty strong right now, but this isn't the asset deck you're playing. So like I'd probably throw it somewhere in here. I'd probably go higher up. But the deck's like pretty cool if the assets were really strong, but like you're not playing the MMM decks that are probably just gonna outpace you. Um you know. Beast Time, I think yeah, once again, this is like a local deck. Pretty fun. Pretty similar to Caduceus Clay, but probably slightly better. Playing the 4 checks is always nice. Like you just get consistent build. You have the death rattles. It seems some cool play. I'm pretty it may have won an LC. I don't know. It's been doing well. Burning Godzilla once again. A lot of these are going to be these kind of local decks, so they're kind of starting to talk about them more. This is like one of those ones that like some people believed it. Like I thought it was crazy when it first came out. Played it, it was kind of mid. Um, It's weird to me that an Ortho package isn't good because you can pump so much damage that like it feels like it should be good, but it doesn't really feel like it when I play it. Falco, it's one of those decks I experimented with over time. Like it's a very toolbox esque deck. It can be cool, but you need to find more for some momentum decks. Joker, no, never play Joker. The only format that Joker's allowed in is 3v3, and it's pretty good at that format. Destroyer is probably like You can play at locals if you want to. It's probably still like a not even at locals deck unless you're trolling. Just play Shin. Just play either of the other or Reiner. Both those blow up characters are better. While we're at it, Shin is probably a rogue slash top deck. I'd probably put it as the top rogue deck out of these. It's probably going to top cut. It might not though, because like there's a lot of things that can beat it. A lot of people are starting to move over to it now as well. Like it's got the popularity behind it, so it's feeling a lot stronger than before, in my opinion, of course. Like I said, it's all subjective. So I might think this card's really good. You might hate it. Just comes down to the thoughts. Nagaruki. This is one that I thought about a little bit. I think like after winning, no, good to the one words, coming second in worlds, it's like kind of just died. Like I don't know. I guess there's just parts that doesn't make sense. Like I don't even know why I'd put. I think I'd put it probably somewhere here. Like the order symbol has good cards, but it just sucks. There's a lot of things that kind of just don't work anymore and stuff like that. Flock Forester. This is a team deck that I built. There's a few ways to build it. There's like the David Toombs way, just hella mid, or there's a very weird way where you play 8 attacks in the deck, which is just go mill out. You play the one Unrelenting Advance, mill your entire deck, and then you find off that either another Unrelenting and keep chaining them together, so you're either doing 10 damage or they're blocking, and then you just play a Harness on Death to do a lot of damage. Felt pretty fun to play. Good or not is another question. But it was very fun. Like it's a very fun deck to play. I don't know. Gigan probably just one of these decks. Gorg throws are fine. There's better throw decks coming. Like it's probably just here. Megamune. I put this in here purely because I wanted to talk about how like it's been very cool. I think like once again this is one of those local decks. Like it's very fun to play against, but and to play like it's just cool. I played against one of Worlds, did a good job, close game, still managed to win. Probably is probably dying now, so it's probably like the bottom. Like I don't know. I don't know if there's any there might be the allies worth playing now though. I think we got a few, so maybe it's going up. Hanzo Four Eyes. I think this is just like in a weird spot now. Like it's not got it's not really the best spot. It's not the end of the world for it. Like I guess if the format's like kind of stuff like Rodan, you can kind of stall them out. So like maybe it's higher, but I guess it always depends on the format. And I guess it probably won't be Rodans. There'll be something else. Eren Yeager is probably like a rogue deck that can do well. It's got really good damage output. It's got like potentially 4 on the front side and can do a lot. I think it's either 3 or 4 on the back side. Maybe more than that. Talk got nerfed. It's probably like here. I mean, is probably lower. I don't see a reason to be playing Tot in this format. There's just better characters. Levi, this character sucks. I tried to build it really hard and I couldn't get it to work. Adore, I think is just the better throw deck. I think like you don't get the infinite draw power and the DR, but you also just get cardboard clog and more damage. You're getting like 3+3, like you're getting 6 damage per attack rather than the 3 or 4 that 3, 4, or 5 that Gog would get. Mikasa is probably a regional top here. Like I think this deck is looking pretty strong going into the format. I mean maybe it's a rogue deck, but it feels like one of those decks that I have faith in to do pretty well. Has some cool stuff going on. Can draw a lot of cards, can pump some damage. All of that shenanigans. Yeah, Han Zoe. Once again, like the other backup decks, it's probably not well placed. Like we lost 9 Titans, we lost all that. So it's probably the worst backup deck out of the 3. It's not like able to keep up with the new ones. They're a bit better, a bit quicker, and stuff like that. Jet Jaguar like sucks. I think I guess there's play for there's fun stuff you can do, but I don't think I don't like it. Peak is probably I actually have to put it in rogue deck because like it could do well. I personally believe the deck is very bad, but like it's not. I don't think it's bad. I think like just good people play it and then they struggle for some reason. Like I know a lot of people that played the deck and then lost like a lot. Like it's a lot like Ken Boberg played it and didn't do like I guess he also top 8'd one, so he was the one person. But Pika's like been out for ages. Everyone's like, oh, it's Banner break for the fall. Like, everyone's like, it's always been good, but it's never been great for me. Like in my opinion, King Ghidorah 2. The deck's really cool. I get it's got some cool mechanics. Also, we have Roman cancel tokens, so the deck is you also play them, so you can also double up if you want to. There's been some builds that are starting to gain some traction, but I think it's like just missing stuff. It's a 5-hander. 5-handers normally have a lot of problems. There's like what 2 5-handers in 3 5-handers. This isn't a fake 5-hander though, but yeah, there's like 2 5-handers down here. Once again, another fake 5-hander that added cards to hand. So it's interesting. Sean Kirsten. This is here purely so I can slander this deck. This deck, I know someone that plays this deck, and they clung onto it for a few events. Never believed in it, and I never will. I didn't really like it. Just like in like even after like before thinking it made no sense to play that. Before VME banned, there was no one playing that deck, and I still think there's probably no reason. There never was, but it's there for the sake of just to talk about it. Reiner 2. This Reiner still seems pretty good. I think there's a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do, but this character can do some real stats on the backside. He's annoying to get through. Like, I don't know, it just requires you to not be an idiot. Once again, like, this is the thing, like, even same with King Ghidorah. Like, if you play awfully and stuff, they can manipulate their health to get around you, so it's kind of like it beats bad players. So you should win your locals and stuff with that. Crystal End is one of those decks I think is probably like, depending on what I'm categorizing, it's like a high tier locals to a rogue deck. Probably on the more side of the high tier locals. It's kind of cool. It's very fun. It's got some cool mechanics if you can build the deck, but it's kind of just lacking. It feels like it's just lacking a bit at the moment. It's not kind of got anything that's like super crazy. You can go the chaos route. Like, I think both their symbols do like different things, so you kind of have options. The order freezing route has always felt good, but now we have stuff like Kai Kisuke, which and some other decks that can do it kind of better. So it kind of feels like a bit dead to play. Oh, Mothra. Mothra, like I feel like it has to be at least a rogue deck because it's like still really good. But like it's not a rogue deck. Like it's in the category of rogue decks. I think it's the same level, but like I think people see it coming. Like someone will play Mothra. They probably won't do well, but they might do well. I think like you're just supposed to play Rodan or one of the other defensive characters in this format. TMNT, this card sucks. Never play it unless you're playing retro. Fire Rodan is actually starting to get some play. I would probably put it like near the top of the local decks. I think it's very fun to play. It looks really cool. Like if you can get like the Mondo Gecko down, you can give like +2 speed, +3 damage to all your attacks, and then like -2 damage to all of their attacks. So it kind of has some very cool stuff, and then there's other ways in the deck to get around it, but it feels kind of nice overall. Zeke 2. This I guess all 3, don't know how you talk about it, but yeah, this is an interesting deck. I think it's pretty mid. In its glory days, it's pretty cool. It's not coming up to the hype. Puma, I think Puma's always going to be a rogue deck. I think it might even shoot up a bit because we're getting like the asset. I'm pretty sure it's on symbol. Well, I guess you can build it on symbol in some way, but the asset that says ready another thing. So when you commit it, you can then ready your massive mutant. So then if you can get 2 massive mutants now and then so it gives you basically more cards that we'd give 5/5 to an attack. It's always nice to have. Yeah. Zeke 1 is probably like decent. Like it seems always fun, but I don't know. Like I don't. It's just inside this thing. There's so many like different decks. So it's hard to thing. This is probably like a very mid deck. I don't know. Someone will maybe find a way to make it better, but it just kind of always felt like it's not quite meant to be. Something lacking. Mixer 1. This is probably like a pretty cool local deck. It can go infinite if you can check 5, so you can get the 2 check, 1 in your discard, 1 in your hand. You also have to draw cards, so it can go like pseudo infinite, I guess. You're never going for infinite unless you have like a way to infinitely commit to draw or an infinite draw. But it's kind of thing where like playing 8 attacks is always pretty fun. Like I don't think it'll ever take down a regional because of consistency, and being 23 health means you die too easily. But you never know. Reiner Born, once again, it's kind of one of those decks that's good, but it's overshadowed by like Shin. Like I personally think I like a build where you play Reiner and Shin, because Reiner can help win some of those matches where you just die. Because Reiner doesn't just die, he doesn't flop too early, but also he's like slightly less good at probably blowing up. Like he can blow up someone's entire board if they're flipping stuff. So it kind of just depends on what deck you're playing, who you're against. Like, but I think Reiner is probably looking worse, or at least gets less play. So like I don't know. Reiner does cool stuff, but you have to blow up your own and stuff like that. Like, you have to play very weirdly, and you can only blow up so many on your face. Oh. Scanlan. There's some cool decks playing around with him once again. Dragon, like I said, with assets being stronger, this deck becomes stronger. There's a few builds that felt really clean with this, with badgies and stuff. I think it's never going to take off and be something crazy, but I think it's like a deck to look out for. It's very cool. Outscrew, as a wise man said, this deck is never bad, but never great. I think it's very, like, just cool. Very cool, very chill. I don't know, like, it used to be really good. I always liked it. Seems fun. I like the Death Rattle party build. Don't think that like exists anymore at all for loads of reasons, but Ymir's is definitely quite a good deck going into this regional because it's able to kill. It can help deal with like the problems, and it kind of it feels a bit better now that Wine's gone. Like there's probably decks that are way better than it. Like a lot of these decks I think in this tier are probably better, but it does some cool stuff. Like it always has been around. All for one. I think like doing momentum stuff is pretty cool. Like I don't think it's busted, but it's cool. Can probably win an LC if you work on it. There, sealing stuff is cool. Like this gives me like it's never gonna be as good as Reiner, but it gives me cool. It's cool like vibes. You can seal stuff. You're kind of like committed to playing allies though. It kind of makes the deck feel a little bit worse. Shigaraki. It's probably like just like I think all these decks kind of still in this tier. They're all pretty good. I think the All might be the best one if you can like if there's a deck floating around like something like that. Problem is because obviously I haven't built decks all of these, it struggles to kind of like grasp the concepts. Devil Jin's probably like a local deck. It still does cool stuff, but it's just kind of they keep kneecapping him. He got hit twice technically. It's kind of just hurt him a lot. 3 times if you include like the attacks and stuff. Paul Phoenix, once again, just a cool deck. Raycorn Hero 2. Nick Reagan, same thing. Mitchell Camino might top if we get enough people on him, but I will put him in Rogue because I think he's like around the same as like Shin and stuff. Like they're both like really able to top here, but they need something. This is one of my favorite decks ever. It's a very cool locals deck. Nezure probably just dies since it's like still a local deck because you can pick up cool attacks and play them again. Mark Tyner got kneecapped so hard that like I think there's no point playing him. There's probably better decks like unless you want to build some cool unique source. Young Tagoro got hit really hard with the errata. I think it's still playable, but probably used. There's better decks now. Like +4 damage every attack is just not that good in this format, and you have to build up to it. Like there's other decks that can just give 4 damage for better reasons. For example, Woman. Woman is one of those decks. I still think it's a rogue deck. It's not quite good enough. But you can kind of just turbo aggro people. There's a lot of cards that say, like, remove, do this, blah, blah, blah. You got King Ghidorah, Unleash, the new ones that can just go play them from your discard pile. So that helps your 5-hander attack problem. Just check 5s, basically. Also, they can fold, so, like, that's why it's not any higher. Beckett have 0 clue, it sucks. Never seen the card. This card's cool, but it's never going to be anything good. Chaos sucks. And yeah, I think we can summarize a lot of these as being kind of similar. I mean, Leatherhead's very cool for local decks. Like, there's a few things there. And I think that's like pretty much it. I guess Toru's pretty cool. It's got some cool source. Like, it's kind of like it's one of those things that's always been like anti-meta plays. Big Mouth Titan, once again, it's probably one of those decks that could do well. Like 2 damage to gain momentum, and then playing momentum's cool. It's fun. Nothing crazy once again. Momo, like with the whole thing with foundations becoming less and less powered over time, and attacks being the stronger, like becoming stronger, it kind of feels like not worth playing. 8.0 not good at all in my opinion. And I think a lot of these characters kind of like just aren't gonna see a lot of play. I definitely could be wrong. Could see one of these do super well, but it's not kind of one of those ones I predict. Jamie kind of fell off a bit since it was destroying everyone in the format. Same with Porco. I mean, Special Blast has some cool things with momentum, which can always help. Yeah, I don't think there's any like super notable characters in here. Feel free to let me know if I've missed anyone, and I mean, yeah. So if I was to tidy up this, I'd probably put this as like something, and this is something I'd expect to top. I personally like. I think it's just because I'm good. I like the deck, and I've always has liked. But I think Reiner is looking really strong going into this format. Um, I think like certain decks maybe are stronger than I expected. Certain decks are weaker than I expected. Reiner might still be pretty good if you play the backup version. I'm just personally not believing that. Because you like have to commit. You kind of have to be playing 4 copies of emerging threats, and then if you don't find them, you're kind of just cooked. I think that's interesting. Pony actually isn't on this list, but Pony would be probably in the regional top. I think it's still top. Like I think the team hero errata isn't enough to keep it out. Yeah, I think it's not enough to keep it out. What else I think is in the top? I don't know. There's a few things we could see. Like I think these 4 will probably be like a top 16 at least. I think like Rodan may not top, but I think it's one of the best decks. I think you have to put the time and effort into building it. You have to put a lot of hours in, so that's why I think sometimes it's like a bit more intimidating to newer players. But, like I think these are all very good. I think like a lot of this format is pretty playable. I just think you need to pick an array like cool idea and go with it for locals. And then once you get out of locals, it's kind of like what are these decks can consistently do their niche. This is really fun. I mean, it's getting pretty less because I think game 2 until that once you get a bit more advanced, you can kind of just hold low blocks. But still, if you play enough, you get through it. It doesn't really matter. Godor probably isn't going to do crazy well, but I think it has stuff. Like I said, a lot of these decks probably aren't good, or some of these decks probably are better than I put them. But this is kind of my predictions ahead of the regional. So feel free to let me know down. Let me know if you have any suggestions or disagree with any of these takes. I think these characters are probably some of the best to look at going to the regional. There's probably some that aren't even on here that I've missed that are probably going to win the regional, but let me know down below. I'll see you guys in the next one.